Alright, you are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I got a like the other day, I got a like on Facebook from my first girlfriend. Was she my first girlfriend? Yeah. I had a girlfriend in grade 6. I wouldn't count that. I kissed her on the lips once. No tongue. Then I had a couple of girlfriends from year 7 to year 8, but who gives a shit about that? I would consider her my first girlfriend. I haven't spoken to her. I haven't seen her, and it would have to be 20 fucking years. She's married with 3 kids now, and she had changed her name. And I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Who the fuck is this cunt? And then I did some investigating. I was like, oh, my fucking year 9 girlfriend. It has been a long fucking time. I'll tell you the story of my first girlfriend. How about that? Well, I'm fucking telling you anyway, so shut up. So I was in year 9. I don't know how old you are in year 9. I tried to work it out before. I think I was 14 turning 15. And I used to walk to school every day. A couple of mates would cruise past my house and we'd all walk to school. Some days I would just sleep in and yell out to my mates, I'm catching the bus, fuck off. So it was one of the days I slept in. I called the bus and I jump on the bus and I see this girl and I'm like, I like her. I liked her immediately. She wasn't like a fucking glamour or anything like that, but I liked her. She caught my eye. She kind of looked a little bit like Martina Hingis, and I had a massive fucking crush on Martina Hingis at the time. So maybe that was the thing. But I was like, I like her. And so from then on, I'm like, fuck this, I'm catching the bus. So every day I would catch the bus at exactly the same time after that. It would make me like 20 minutes late for school, but I didn't give a fuck. I was just 20 minutes late for school every single day. So I'd jump on the bus and I wouldn't even say anything. I would just stand there sort of next to her. And from my bus stop to the school, it was like 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. It wasn't a long fucking ride. So I did that for ages. I'd just catch the bus and sort of stand somewhere in the vicinity. Not saying anything, just letting my presence be known. Just throwing out there, hey, I'm a guy on a bus too, and I'm sort of near you. And so after ages catching the bus and just standing near her, I started shooting out some smiles, which is pretty much the end of the game there. When I start shooting out smiles, it's pretty much game over for any girl. How could you resist? I started smiling, I was getting a couple of smiles back, and then one day I was like, fuck it. I amped myself up. I'm like, I'm going to say hi. I'm going to fucking say hi today. Let's do it. Let's do it. And so that day I jumped on the bus and I said, hi. And she's like, hi. I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going to work. I'm like, work? I'm like, so you don't go to school? She's like, no, I left school. I'm a florist now. I'm like, oh, floristry, that's a cool job. And then ding, then I had to jump off. That was my bus stop. And then I continued catching the bus and I continued speaking to her. She was in year 11. I was in year 9. She quit school because she fucking hated it. She became a florist. That's her job now. She works every day of the week. And I was just getting to know her. I was just starting to talk to her and getting to know her. And I ended up getting expelled from high school. They kicked me the fuck out of high school. I was like, fuck, I'm not going to be able to speak to her anymore. I'm fucking out of school. And then I was like, no, I can still speak to her. I'll just catch the bus in the morning. So that's what I did. I would get up every morning. This would have been for like over a month. I did this. I got up every morning, got into my school uniform, caught the bus, spoke to her for 5 minutes until I got to my bus stop, and then I just walked the fuck home and went back to bed. That was the main part of my day, that 5-minute bus ride. So I kept on finding out things about her. She was 17. I told her I was 16. That was it. I never got her number. It was never more than that friendly chatting on the bus. And then one day I went to a house party. I went to a house party that I was definitely going to get my ass kicked at. Like, that was the reason they were holding the party. I had started some fights at high school with some older dudes, and they weren't exactly happy with how much I was fucking shit talking them. And so the warning was, if he shows his face at this fucking house party, he's going to get his ass fucking kicked. And for some reason, I went to the house party. My mates are like, come to this house party. Come to this house party. They wanted to see my ass get kicked as well, which was fair enough. I was a fucking real annoying, smart-ass cunt when I was a young dude. And I remember walking down the street to this party. I had a few older friends with me. But the one dude I'd pissed off the most, who was like the tough guy or whatever, he's dead now. He got shot, apparently. That's what I heard. He caught a glimpse of me and was like, you're fucked. And he went inside to get some other dudes to come out to beat the fuck out of me. But in the meantime, a bunch of girls I knew were inside the party and heard they were coming out to bash me. So they came out with the dudes and stood in front of me and protected me. Like 8 girls. Like they full protected me. Like these guys were charging and these girls were pushing. Just going, don't fucking touch him. Don't fucking touch him. Like fully saved by about 8 girls. They were really interested in fucking me right up. But the girls saved me and it all sort of cooled down. I hung away from the party a little bit. Hung with the girls. Hung with a few of my mates. It was all right. Everything sort of simmered down. And I'm hanging out. And who turns up to the party? The girl from the fucking bus. I'm like, holy fuck. Bus girl's here. I didn't say hi to her or anything. She just walked in. She just walked past, walked into the party, did whatever. Later on that night, I see her holding hands with the dude that wants to beat the fuck out of me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Of all the cunts, of all the motherfuckers she's with, it's this cunt. I fucking hate this cunt. And so the night progressed a little bit further. And out of nowhere, I had told no one in the world that I was catching the bus to see this girl. I had told no one about this girl at all. Later on in the night, my mate Craig comes over to me and he's like, I want you to meet someone, man. I'm like, oh yeah, who? He's like, come. And he takes me down the street and introduces me to Bus Girl. He's like, Dave, this is Bus Girl Dave. I'm like, nice to meet you. How are you? She's like, very nice to meet you too. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so I speak to her for like 2 minutes and then I just start kissing her. I'm like, fuck this. And we're kissing for ages. And then in the background I hear, what the fuck? and it was a stupid cunt that wanted to bash me. He saw us kissing. And after that, everyone was like, yeah, you probably have to get out of here now. Yeah, it's time for you to get out of here. And so I'm like, do you want to come with me? She's like, yeah, let's go. And so we rolled. And so after that night, we just started hanging out a little bit. She kept on asking me how old I was. I was 14, turning 15 at the time, if I remember correctly. I told her I was 16. She looked very suspicious. I'm like, no, I seriously am. So it was built on a foundation of lies from the very beginning. Then I found out she's actually one of my mate's cousins. And he didn't like me going out with his cousin. He didn't like me at all, actually. Me and him ended up getting into a lot of fucking fights. But he didn't like me going out with his cousin. So one night we got fucked up and he coerced me. He twisted my arm into hooking up with some other girl. And then he fucking ratted on me straight away. So she broke up with me. But that same night he had hooked up with someone and he had a girlfriend as well. So I ratted on him. You got to remember, I was 14, 15. Jesus Christ. And then he wanted to kill me for a while. For more than a while. He wanted to kill me for fucking like 8 years. Into our 20s, he wanted to fucking kill me. And then I find out she's been hooking up with one of my mates behind my back. And they ended up going out for like 4 years. And he was special forces in the army. So I couldn't really say much to that cunt. And yet, 20 years later, I get a like. It's funny how the world works, isn't it? So that's the story of my first girlfriend. So that's it for tonight. If you're a new listener and you want to listen to this podcast from the very start, from day one, you've got to go to Spotify or any other podcasting platform besides Apple Podcasts and iTunes. Apple Podcasts and iTunes only hold 300 episodes. So if it's day 318 today, on Apple Podcasts, it starts at day 18. So if you want to listen from day one, go to Spotify. That's the best place. But most of the other platforms start from day one as well. Alright, that's it from me tonight. Add me on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Do the rest of the shit. Tell your friends about it. And I'll see you the fuck later.